In this video, I want to talk about medical privacy. Hi everybody, I'm Bruce Lambert from HowCommunicationWorks.com. This is a channel where I teach you about communication skills so you can improve your relationships, succeed at work, and be more confident. I haven't made a video in about a month, and I had been posting about 2 videos a week for several months. The reason I haven't posted in so long is I've been a little bit sick. One night in the first week of May, I woke up in the middle of the night with terrible abdominal pain, ended up going to the emergency room. I thought for sure I had appendicitis, but when I got there, the doctors told me I had a kidney stone. And for those of you who've ever had a kidney stone, you know, it's no picnic. In fact, I'm going to go on Yelp and I'm going to give the whole kidney stone experience just 1 star because it was miserable. But I had a particular experience. The first night that I had the kidney stone, I was hospitalized overnight to have a procedure to begin to deal with it, and I was put in a shared hospital room. And my experience in the shared hospital room and the lack of privacy in that room is what I want to talk about. So we hear a lot these days about medical privacy, and most of what we hear is about kind of digital medical privacy, the fear that our electronic medical records will be breached somehow, that the passwords will be lost, that there'll be a big data breach, and our genetic test results will be let loose into the wild, or our prescription drug records will somehow get out, or something else about our medical history that's private will somehow be released to the public. And so these are very legitimate fears because all those things that I just mentioned have happened. But what I want to talk about today is kind of old-fashioned analog privacy, not digital privacy. So I was in this room the first night that I was hospitalized, and it was a shared room, meaning there were 2 of us in this room, and we were separated only by a thin curtain. My head was probably like only 3 or 4 feet from this guy's head, and just separating us was a curtain. So I could hear everything that was going on in his half of the room, and he could hear everything that was going on in my half of the room. Now, this gentleman that I was hospitalized next to was very, very ill. And so he was being evaluated by a whole bunch of different medical teams, and he was also having some very private conversations with his wife. So as a consequence of this lack of privacy, I overheard his psychiatric evaluation, his evaluation by neurologists, by gastroenterologists, by surgeons. And I also heard these incredibly private end-of-life conversations that he had with his wife. Now, these were conversations I had no business being privy to. And I was embarrassed and even a little bit ashamed to overhear what I was overhearing. I didn't know what I could do about it. I was just laying in my own hospital bed, sick. I suppose I could have put on headphones or turned on the television. Honestly, the thought didn't occur to me at the time. I was too sick to want to listen to music or watch television. And I wasn't intentionally eavesdropping, but I just couldn't help but overhear what was being said, and I was embarrassed by it, and I thought, there's got to be a better way. Now, I'm not naive. I realize if you put 2 people in the same hospital room, there's going to be some intrinsic loss of privacy. You can't avoid it. But I thought that there's a simple device that I've seen used in other contexts that might help increase the privacy that we have, and that's just one of these analog white noise maker machines, or you could even have a digital white noise maker machine. You could go on YouTube or lots of other apps and get white noise apps. And there's these little round mechanical devices that make white noise that you often see outside of a therapist's office or a psychiatrist's office or a counselor's office, or even just outside of some business offices. You see these devices, and I'll link to one of them down in the description, and I'll show a picture of one here in the video. But these devices make white noise. White noise is just that kind of a sound that isn't actually very loud, but completely obliterates the intelligible sounds of conversation in another room. So if there's one of these white noise generators outside of an office behind a closed door, you cannot hear what's being said behind that closed door. And I think that if there was white noise being pumped into my side of the room, I think I would have had a much harder time hearing and understanding what was being said. Now, I might have heard voices, but I might not have been able to understand them. And that's all we really want, because you're not going to be able to have silence, but at least you might be able to have privacy if the other voices aren't intelligible. I don't know whether this is a practical solution or not. People who know more about hospital rooms can maybe tell me why this won't work. Maybe there's an infection control reason why it won't work. Maybe there's some other equipment management reason or a budgetary reason why it won't work. I don't know, but I don't think these devices are expensive. And I think that for relatively low investment, although nothing in healthcare is ever cheap, and maybe these devices in healthcare would end up costing $5,000 each, even though you can get them on Amazon for $10 or $20 or some minimal cost. But once they get in healthcare, maybe a medical version of this would be, really, really ridiculously expensive, and that would make it impractical. But I think something like this would increase the privacy. Maybe I could flip a switch when I was having a private conversation and it would project white noise into the other side of the room, and my roommate could flip a switch and project white noise into my side of the room when he was having a private conversation. I'd love to hear your feedback about this. All I know is that the situation that I experienced was just totally unacceptable, I think, from a privacy point of view. And I was embarrassed and felt really guilty and ashamed that I had violated this other couple's privacy so much, though I didn't know at the time that there was anything I could have done about it. So that's my observation about medical privacy, even still here in the 21st century in shared rooms. I had several other experiences with the healthcare system in the last month with myself and a family member, and I'm going to share those with you in some upcoming videos. If you like this kind of video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. Go on over to howcommunicationworks.com and give us your email. We'll send you an ebook about empathy, which we think you'll enjoy and learn something from. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. See you next time.